So, some students wanted to know how many times should they meet with their supervisor, and is there any other advice that they can get with their dissertation? Victoria, we'll go to you first on this one.
Right, well, I'll start with the meeting with the supervisors. How many times? Well, there are no really hard and fast rules about exactly how many times, and would 4 times meeting the supervisor produce an A? Would it be 12 meetings that produce a C minus? I do not know. But what I do know is that there are certain key points in the dissertation writing where you absolutely have to be in touch with your supervisors. And that's right at the start when you discuss your topic. So you've got a topic, it's wonderful, it's brilliant in every way, you've already got some ideas as to where you're going to go, you're assigned a supervisor, please make yourself known to them sort of as soon as possible. Because the sooner you start developing a plan and getting into this work, the easier it will be in the end. So don't postpone it till 2 weeks before the thing is due, because then you have 2 weeks of absolute hell, and you scream and holler and run around, and the supervisor goes on a conference trip somewhere, and that's it. I don't like surprises, and a lot of my colleagues don't either. We like seeing the work in progress, because then if there is a big problem somewhere in the middle, we can catch it, rather than it arriving on our desk to be marked and we think, no, it's missing the methodology completely and the data hasn't been analyzed. It just says I've interviewed a bunch of people and they all agree with me. So don't do that. No surprises, please. But that's how often you meet with the supervisor is between you and the supervisor. And I would suggest that right up front, you sort of have tentative dates of your next meeting. So I'm meeting with you today, say it's, I don't know, early October. When is my next meeting? Oh, let's say early December. It gives us enough time to do the lit review. And you write it down in a nice little plan, and off you go. It's easier this way.
Jane, you've had, you're in your 3rd postgraduate study now?
I'll talk about doing the masters, I think,
yeah.
Really. I found one of the most important things was to arrange to meet them regularly, because I found that really good for keeping me motivated. When I went to see them, I'd always write down what we'd discussed and what we'd sort of said, right, this is what you need to be doing next. So I didn't then walk away and completely forget what we'd been talking about. And then I generally found that helped to keep me focused and, as I said, helped to keep me motivated. The best thing to do, I mean, really, is to be honest with your supervisor. And if you are having problems, then tell them. I know I sort of had a moment part way through where I had a bit of a wobble and then discovered that lots of people feel that way. So, you know, do talk to your supervisor, because they are there to help you. They're not there to make your life a misery.
Belinda, can you offer any?
I think picking up on that, it's very, very important that you develop a good relationship with your supervisor. They really do want you to do well. So it's best to schedule regular meetings with them. It can seem a bit onerous, you know, doing that way ahead, but certainly in the early stages you need to do that. And that will help you build up your confidence in what you're doing. And also, if you stray off the path and find that you're going off lots of different tangents, they will help to bring you back in line and keep you focused. So it really is, as Jane said, it's so important to see your supervisor regularly. And also to share your experiences with your colleagues, other students. Very important that they are all going through the same thing. Some might seem super confident to you and just be sailing through it. They won't be. Everybody has anxieties over dissertation and independent study. They all do. No one can be absolutely certain about what they're doing until they get, you know, to well into their research project. And another resource, I'm a study skills advisor. You know, this facility is available to you. You have 8 hours study skills time. Every single student has that opportunity to sit down with someone completely confidentially to talk about what they're trying to do. They won't answer the questions for you, but what they will do is help you to address study skills in relation to gathering information, pointing you in the right direction about who to speak to in the library if you haven't been to see the library resources in the correct way, point out the stacks in the library, how you use them, all sorts of help and advice you can get, and IT support as well in terms of your presentation. And obviously you've got other dissertations you can look at in terms of if it's structure that's an anxiety for you.
Using the study advisor scheme, you get peer support that way, which I think can be really useful, talking to somebody who's been through the same experience. So even if you're a third year undergraduate, you can access a study advisor who's maybe studying at master's level or even PhD level, and they will be able to, they've been through it, so they'll be able to relate to that and share their experience. So I think that is something that can be really useful. Or even a third year study advisor who's actually going through it at the same time as you can equally be as useful, because you can sort of brainstorm together, and because they're usually high achieving students, hopefully they may have got a bit more of a grip on it than some other students have.